When I'm not reassessing my quarantine goal of becoming a yoga expert.
Right arm out. Maybe grab hold of the left foot, drawing the heel in close to the groin. Don't forget to breathe.
I like to answer questions that I get on YouTube, so let's get to it. Who's the best looking guitarist on YouTube? So this is a question that was posed to me on my Instagram Q&A yesterday, and I can think of no better time than to hash through the YouTube guitar community's sexiest men. Now, I feel very comfortable in my sexuality, and I am not threatened by another beautiful man, so I feel like I'm the authority here. And the way we're going to do this is we're limiting it to only people I have met in person, because there's a lot of fancy filters and internet magic you can do on just a YouTube video or Instagram post. So these are the in-person sexiest men of the YouTube guitar community. You know, you can really only start one place, Samurai Guitar. A beautiful, sexy man with a beautiful heart and a great, dazzling, charming sense of humor. I don't know if he's aggregate the sexiest, but he definitely has the best hair. If you've never seen him with his hair down, you're missing out. So definitely do a Samurai deep dive. Quick story, we were in a hotel in Germany together, and he's like, hey, we gotta go to the front desk. I'm like, okay. So we go to the front desk, and he's like, listen, they've got these little bottles of shampoo in my room and conditioner, and I'm gonna need some more conditioner. So the lady's like, oh, okay, here you go, here's a couple bottles. And he's like, no, I'm gonna need like 8 extra bottles of conditioner. But you know what? It's totally worth it. Samurai guitarist, sexy man. Next up, we've got Mike from Become the Night, another extremely brooding, sexy kind of guy. I would imagine that for women, Mike is like the mistake that you cannot wait to make, right? Like you just have like a wild one-night stand that you kind of regret, and then you forget about it for a while, and then a week later you wake up and he's posted a viral takedown video of you. Next up, my dude DOVYDAS, often referred to as the loins of Lithuania. Now there's something about DOVYDAS that he's just all man, right? Every time we kick it, I just feel manlier. Definitely prefer his look with the stash. And again, I've been vegan for like 3 years, but every time me and DOVYDAS kick it, I just feel like just having like a steak. The only thing more shredded than his fretboard is his body. This brings us to Adam Neely. I don't think I've ever seen Adam when he's not smoldering. It's like one just continuous eternal smolder that has like several different speeds. And then once he starts talking jazz music theory, especially like the modern really out there, it's like, man, is someone turning the temperature up? Whew. Paul David, man, let me tell you about a cool, tall drink of water. This guy, the beard is absolutely as majestic in person as it appears to be on camera. I would say this is probably the most well-groomed man that I've ever met in my entire life. And he just has that like soothed, calming voice that just adds to the overall sexiness. Keep doing what you're doing, man. It's working out. Then there's Ian Stitch. Moving on to Danish Pete. I mean, what more can you say? This guy is a fashion icon. I feel like when Prince passed, he passed on the power of purple to this man. And like the way he just does it is just so classy. It's like just so like that royal purple, any kind of shade of purple. This guy's got it down. He's got those easy baby looking eyes. Man, Pete, you're the man. This brings us to Captain Lee Anderton. Although severely British, he kind of has like an American boy next door charm. And the thing that I think makes him exceptionally sexy is whenever I'm around Lee, I just feel safe. He just like exudes just like you're in a safe space with Lee. That's why he's the captain. He's got it all under control. This brings us to Rick Beato. I've got to say, I personally prefer bearded Beato as my favorite Beato. And there's something about Rick where he ends up like yelling at you a lot, but you end up kind of liking it. So I think a lot of people who have like a shame kink are totally into Rick Beato. Also, let me tell you from personal experience, there's no better move in the world than taking a girl, putting her in the Jeep, driving her to the makeout spot, and then just reading from the Beato book. Smooth move. This brings us to Ben Levin, Professor Ben Levin. Great hair. He's got this kind of frenetic energy where he's like just barely keeping it together, but it just draws you in. So I'm all about Ben Levin. You should check that out. Ross Campbell. How else can I say this, but he's just a Scottish sex machine. The only thing more bulletproof than his guitar playing is his charm. This brings us to Jens Larsen, the consummate jazz man. If you think Steven Seagal's ponytail is intimidating, Jens's ponytail is every bit as inviting. I'd be remiss to not mention Marty Schwartz. Now, Marty is the guy in every rom-com that is the dude who ends up with the wife that is way out of his league, right? But then once you actually sit and talk to Marty, everything totally makes sense. Like, hey, put a ring on it if you ever get a chance to talk to Marty, because that's a stable man that'll take care of you. Now, have you ever met someone in person that is just so attractive that you're just like, this cannot be real? Okay, this has only happened to me a few times in my life, but number one on this list, unequivocally, like I didn't really even have to think that hard. I've just listed several very attractive men. But Mike Bradley, this dude is an absolute dreamboat. The first time I met him, I got lost in his eyes. The last time I talked to him, I was still lost in his eyes trying to look out. He's like a human soft focus filter. Like you just turn in his direction and like your vision changes. It's amazing. I made a special point to try to befriend Mike just in case there was a scenario in the future where I didn't want him to try to steal my girl, because he easily could. Mike Bradley, you are the internet guitar community's sexiest man. So again, I hope you don't take this responsibility lightly, but well done, sir. Well done. You look like Justin Timberlake after he'd been through rehab. Well, that's still one of the best compliments that I've had this week, so I'll take it. Terrible advice. This guy is useless. Take no notice. He just likes the sound of his own voice. I mean, I guess that's kind of fair. Then you look at this guy's avatar and his name is the Phantom Navigator. It's hard to really take a salty comment from someone named the Phantom Navigator that seriously. So, yeah. Alright, so for listening homework this week, we could all use a good laugh, and in spirit with the sexy theme of this video, I'm linking you to a new Thundercat track called Dragon Ball Durag, where it's essentially him kind of asking permission to get it on while still wearing his durag. But it's Thundercat, so it's still awesome. Definitely check that track out. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. If you have anybody else you'd like to nominate for sexiest guitar male personality, please do so in the comments, and I will make sure to check it out as unbiased as I can. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, like I said, hit me up. I'll talk to y'all soon. Thanks a lot.